All right, I just put $2,000 into my Charles Schwab account. In about 30 months, this is going to be about $100,000. I'm also documenting everything so you guys can see it. So these are my holdings right here. This portfolio has beat the S&P long-term in the last 5 years, the last 10 years, probably even the last year. So let's start with the allocation real quick. We got 40% in SPY, 25% is SPMO. Now this is a momentum fund, pretty much a SPY, but where there's volatility. That's why I have it for long-term. And you can see SPMO versus SPY or SPY-M. SPMO is going to be beating SPY-M long-term, or at least it has in the past. Of course, it doesn't have to do in the future. Now for international funds, this one's the boring one. International is 15%. It's IDMO. Now, this is just for risk diversification. It's not much. Next one is QGrow. Same thing. Fundamentally strong companies that are profitable. 10%, beating the S&P 500 in the last X amount of years. I'll post a screenshot right here for you guys. Now, 10% Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, this one's debatable because a lot of people don't like BTC. Another thing is, I like buying what the government is buying. Bitcoin, you guys know, it's touched 100,000. Right now, it's probably hovering over 70, 80,000. And the next stop after the halving, based off history, it can probably go up another 100, 200%, which will hit maybe, I don't know, $150,000 plus. But again, I don't know that. I don't control the coin. All I know is there is a lot of demand for it. It's worth over $1 trillion in AUM. That's a lot, okay? Okay, so rebalancing. Every single year, I do want to rebalance the portfolio because sometimes something might be lagging. Example, Bitcoin. It's down right now, right? The market's all-time high, but Bitcoin's down. So what you want to do is put more money into Bitcoin. And what I mean by that, you just got to click rebalance. Bitcoin that's at 10% allocation might become 9%. So you have to go and sell some shares that are performing, example, SPY-M and SPMO that's up, and sell it for some BTC. So if I'm bullish in all of these holdings, I want to make sure that it's at 10% and I get the most amount of upside. So that's why I do rebalancing. As goes for compounding, a lot of people don't understand the effect of compounding. Here's a graph that'll show you the compound effect. That way you guys understand how much of a difference it makes long term. I'll go ahead and put up a photo right here of putting $500 a month into your portfolio versus putting $700 a month into your portfolio. If you guys look at the difference in maybe 10 years from now, you guys gonna be like, holy shit. And it may not seem like a lot, you know, $500, $600 or $700, like $200 a month, but in the long term, it makes a really, really big difference. And that's why compounding is such a powerful thing. And that's why you guys should focus on investing long term. Now, of course, I have $2,000 that I'm putting in. Most people don't have that. You know, I'm only able to do that because I have real estate properties paying me extra money as well. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We're not here for quick gains. It's not a get rich quick scheme that you guys see all over fucking YouTube with all these damn gurus trying to sell you a damn course. I'm so fucking tired of it. Now, I buy baskets, not stocks. The reason why is I don't have time to sit down and start looking over financial sheets, seeing which company's profitable this quarter versus last quarter, and see if they're doing really well. I'd rather give it to the professionals and pay a 0.11, maybe a 0.20 expense ratio. Would you rather go over 500 financial sheets every single quarter? Or would you rather just let the professionals handle it and you give them a piece of your pie? Just a very small little crumb, a very tiny crumb. I'm okay with, honestly. I consider this very, very passive. All right, here's another gem for you guys. Be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. That's another Warren Buffett statement. Now, if you guys don't know Warren Buffett that I haven't mentioned before, Warren Buffett is worth $100 billion. Okay, $100 billion. I don't even have a fucking $1 million. I know for a fact that most people that are looking at this fucking video don't have $1 million. Okay, and if you have $1 million, that's fucking amazing. Okay, congratulations to you. Just a heads up, when Warren Buffett was 26 years old, his net worth was $140,000. Okay, I know a couple 26-year-olds that are worth way more than $140,000 right now. At age 30 is when he reached his first $1 million, by the way. A lot of people consider that late. I don't. I think I'll probably reach $1 million at age 30. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. Whatever happens. You guys should have the discount mindset. Let's use Ulta Beauty for example. When Ulta Beauty has a 40% off sale, your brain probably says, grab it before it's gone, right? That's like the normal mindset. Well, when the S&P drops 30% or 20%, most people panic. Most people sell. They end up selling for a loss. It's the same thing. It's just the other way around. Instead of instant gratification when you buy that product, for the S&P 500, you might have to wait a little longer. That's what brings me to the Gem 3. Well, he said, the big money is not in the buying and selling, but in the waiting. Charlie Munger said that, by the way. RIP, Charlie Munger, absolute GOAT. I know I said 30 months. That's based on my portfolio, and that's what it's done the last 30 months, which again, if you were to put $2,000 $100,000 a month into my portfolio, you'd have $100,000 today. But again, it can take longer. It can take 50 months. It can take 20 months. In fact, it can happen in 1 year. We don't know, right? But at the end of the day, it's in the waiting. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, here's another gem for you guys that you guys will absolutely love, okay? So I beat the S&P 500. And what I mean by that, this portfolio beat the S&P 500. Look at the last 30 months. You can see my portfolio has beat the S&P 500, right? Now, it may not seem like a big difference. The S&P would have been at 116,000 and my portfolio would have only been at 131,000. Now, that's only a $15,000 difference. You're probably wondering like, oh, that's not big. That's not much. You know, you're taking out more risk because you have Bitcoin. It may not seem like a big difference now. Let's go ahead and look at the last 10 years. Okay. This is what I mean by the compound effect. The S&P 500 would have been at $600,000. That's what your portfolio would have been if you would have just bought the S&P 500. My portfolio would have been at 1 million, almost $500,000 difference. I would have bought 2 Lambos, man. I'm not gonna lie. I would have gone and bought 2. I would have gone to a dealership. I'd be like, give me that shit cash right now. Here you go. But look how big the difference is though. That's not a small difference. I know for a fact everyone that's watching this video would want $500,000 more. That's why I chose this portfolio. And I think it's good for long term. I know it says online, like most people that are millionaires that have all these analytics can't beat the S&P 500. You can, okay? You can do it. It's not rocket science. You just got to do a little bit of research and you will be able to do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will go ahead and keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys liked it. And again, if you stay till the end, comment the number 2, okay? The number 2, yes, I said it.